Are there any non-human beings in this room? Yeah, just checking because we are an inclusive group. But what we're exploring this morning it's deeply human. You know? It's a what if. The most powerful thing you can do, or can bring to a conversation, is not what you say, but the space that you create. Yeah? People are not broken. They work perfectly well in accordance to their map of the world. For directions. So if you ask me for directions, I'm going to point in the direction. If you ask me for advice, I will tell you in words, right? But if all you do is looking at my finger and listening to my words, you may not see where I'm pointing, all right? So treat everything as a metaphor and then see what shows up, right? I'm handing you something. I'm handing you a secret, but I can't explain it conceptually because it's not there. You know, you cannot see what you cannot see until you see it. You know, we're meeting at various levels of development and level of understanding how the world works. And when we see something fresh and it makes more sense, then the old will be gone. And you will have transformed into something new. What have I said? Life changed for me when I started to become curious and playful and knowing nothing. What I started to see is that there's another level of consciousness. Inside I call the ecosystem of consciousness. So the other side is the ecosystem of consciousness from which this arises. Imagine that if we all come from the same water, from the same intelligence, we all have access to it. So the intelligence it's in me means it's in you. And when I want to point people in a conversation, especially the coaching conversation, is pointing them to this. When you shift to how life works, how the human experience works, you walk through life through a total different perspective. And I'm not saying Jung, who said most important problems in life can't be solved, only be outgrown. This is what I like to use, especially in coaching, to calibrate and track where a person is, or get a sense of their world and where they're at, right? So energy flows where attention goes is directed by intention, right? So if you're not heading in the direction you want to, check in with your intention, because the attention just follows the intention, right? So my invitation to you is to walk out now, meet with your peers, and create an environment to wake something in them through grace, not will.